Before we start the video, I just want to say thank you to my friend John, who loaned me this video here, loaned me Thor Ragnarok on 4K so I could do this review. It wouldn't be possible without John's help, so I want to say thank you to John. John, you know who you are. Thank you so much for everything. And honestly, you're really the only one I would accept Thor Ragnarok from, because John is actually a professional weightlifter, and honestly, the only man I know that can lift about 3 times his own body weight. So he basically is Thor. So thanks, John. I appreciate it, buddy. Play the intro. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kavanaugh's Corner. Today on the show, I'm going to be talking about the new 4K release of Thor Ragnarok that came out recently. This was a very surprising release to me. I was not expecting this movie to look as good as it does. This is an outstanding release from Disney. They have done an absolutely outstanding job getting this movie onto 4K. I mean, this movie does look amazing. There really isn't much for me to say about this other than good job, Disney, because my God, this is one of the best 4K movies I have seen on the format yet. In terms of colors, in terms of darkness and shading, black levels, everything on this is pristine. It's amazing looking. The CGI in this is pretty heavy. I mean, obviously, it's a Marvel comic book movie, but I gotta say, I absolutely loved Thor Ragnarok in 4K. Outstanding job by Disney. I reviewed this movie already on the channel. I really liked this movie when it came out in theaters. I loved it. I'm going to link the review at the end of the video in case you want to see that. I'm not really going to be talking about the movie. This is hands down the best Thor movie made yet, or anything really related to Thor, honestly. The movie's a lot of fun. They definitely abandoned the structure of the last 2 Thor movies and go in a completely different direction in this one, which is very, very, very much appreciated, honestly. I hated the first 2 Thor movies. I think they're honestly the worst movies in the entire Marvel universe. They are just totally not enjoyable films. Especially the second Thor movie. I went back and rewatched the first 2 Thor movies before I saw this one in theaters. And honestly, I really didn't like the first Thor movie, but I hate the second one. That The Dark World, I should say. I almost said The Lost World. That's Jurassic Park. That's a different movie. But Thor, The Dark World is just so boring and it's just a terrible movie. This, on the other hand, is a lot of fun. But this new 4K release is absolutely outstanding. And I have to say, the colors you get with the high dynamic range on this disc, they really are second to none. In terms of colors, I'd say it's right up there with like John Wick Chapter 2, and I'd even say like Planet Earth 2 in terms of color grading with the HDR. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful, and all the bright colors that are seen when Thor crash lands on the planet, it's really amazing to see. They really did a great job of making this movie a very vibrant, beautiful film. And I gotta say, it's one of my favorites. I'm definitely gonna be buying this. I have to give this back. Like I said, this is my buddy John's, but I'm definitely gonna be buying this as soon as I get a chance. This is gonna be a mainstay in the 4K collection. Hands down, the best looking Marvel movie to date. Probably say next to Spider-Man Homecoming on 4K, which was, again, another outstanding movie. This one here is probably my favorite out of all of them. In terms of 4K thus far, I think this is definitely the best. Spider-Man Homecoming looks amazing, but this right now, for some reason, this is just a little bit better for some reason. Although, I gotta say, the clarity you get on this disc is amazing. It's crystal clear. The opening scene where Thor is kind of in that underground lair, the dark and black levels in those scenes are really, really well done. There's also a scene later on where Hela goes into like a crypt, and that was also beautiful looking on this disc. I also want to say that I watched this movie prior to getting this loaned to me. I watched it on digital HD. Now, it was not a 4K HD stream. It was just a regular 1080. And I got to say, the difference between that 1080 stream and this disc was pretty substantial, especially in the colors. Color-wise, this is far and away 1,000 times better. I did not get a chance to watch the movie on the Blu-ray disc on this, but I've heard it's very well done. It's just nothing compared to this 4K disc. This 4K disc is the way to go. Also, one other thing to note is that this new 4K disc also comes with Dolby Atmos, really nice immersive audio track. I thought the sound on that was crystal clear. It was beautiful. A lot of really big special effects moments really do benefit from having that Dolby Atmos soundtrack. Again, on my system, it was booming, especially when Hulk shows up. His scenes are outstanding. You really get that deep level from his voice and also from his booming walking and everything. Outstanding audio mix on this 4K disc. They did a really good job with that Atmos soundtrack. Even the score on this is outstanding. Mark Mothersbaugh, if I pronounce the name wrong, I apologize, but he's one of the lead guys from Devo. He did the soundtrack to this movie. He also did a lot of music for like Pee-wee's Playhouse and Rugrats in the 90s, and his soundtrack on this is a very techno soundtrack, and even that is really great to hear on that Atmos track. It's outstanding. This set is also pretty great because you get a digital copy, which I don't have because it's my friend's disc. But I gotta say, the Blu-ray extras on this are actually pretty great, especially the gag reel. I thought the deleted scenes in the gag reel on the Blu-ray disc were absolutely hilarious. Deleted scenes, some of them I'm not going to spoil for you, but some of them are actually kind of revealing. Nothing too crazy, but overall, I gotta say, this Thor Ragnarok disc, the 4K HD disc, is a must-buy. It's a must-own, not only because the movie is fantastic, but also this is one of the best 4K discs out there right now. I love this movie. I love this disc. Highly recommended. Go out and buy Thor Ragnarok on 4K as soon as you can. I would pay full price for this, honestly. If it was $30, I'd pay $30 for this. It's worth it. And also, the digital copy, if you redeem it and you use it on iTunes, there's a Dolby Vision version, and I can't even imagine how good that looks. Anyway, I'm Andrew Kavanaugh. Thank you for coming back to Kavanaugh's Corner. Again, big shout out to my friend John, who loaned me this disc. You're the real MVP, my friend. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Good night.